Christ Triumphant, May 7th, Daily Devotional by Ellen G. White. Victories are won by God's power, not ours. And it came to pass, when the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city. And they took the city. Joshua chapter 6, verse 20. In obedience to the divine command, Joshua marshaled the armies of Israel. No assault was to be made. They were simply to make the circuit of the city, bearing the ark of God and blowing upon trumpets. First came the warriors, a body of chosen men, not now to conquer by their own skill and prowess, but by obedience to the directions given them from God. 7 priests with trumpets followed. Then the ark of God, surrounded by a halo of divine glory, was borne by priests clad in the dress denoting their sacred office. The army of Israel followed, each tribe under its standard. No sound was heard but the tread of that mighty host, and the solemn peal of the trumpets, echoing among the hills and resounding through the streets of Jericho. For 6 days the host of Israel made the circuit of the city. The 7th day came, and with the first dawn of light, Joshua marshaled the armies of the Lord. Now they were directed to march 7 times around Jericho, and had a mighty peal from the trumpets to shout with a loud voice, for God had given them the city. As the 7th circuit was completed, the long procession paused. The trumpets, which for an interval had been silent, now broke forth in a blast that shook the very earth. The walls of solid stone, with their massive towers and battlements, tottered and heaved from their foundations, and with a crash fell in ruin to the earth. The inhabitants of Jericho were paralyzed with terror, and the hosts of Israel marched in and took possession of the city. The Israelites had not gained the victory by their own power. The conquest had been wholly the Lord's, and as the firstfruits of the land, the city, with all that it contained, was to be devoted as a sacrifice to God. Only faithful Rahab with her household was spared in fulfillment of the promise of the spies. The utter destruction of the people of Jericho was but a fulfillment of the commands previously given through Moses concerning the inhabitants of Canaan. Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 2. To many, these commands seem to be contrary to the spirit of love and mercy enjoined in other portions of the Bible, but they were in truth the dictates of infinite wisdom and goodness. The Canaanites had abandoned themselves to the foulest and most debasing heathenism, and it was necessary that the land should be cleared of what would so surely prevent the fulfillment of God's gracious purposes.